So yeah, I'm Prashant, co-founder of the Apprentice project. We believe in students who learn what they love, and for our fellows or the people who are working with us are volunteers, and for volunteers to teach what they love. So let me just get started with my journey. A little bit of flashback to my younger days, darker hairs and yeah, better looks probably. I just reflect back on my journey, like a normal childhood in a middle class family, a lot of focus on academics, happened to be a good student, and then by choice I chose to be an engineer, not just following the herd. Enjoyed making bikes. I had a passion for automobiles. Pulsar bikes is what I used to make in Bajaj Auto. And then after a point of time in my career, I felt saturated and then went on, chose to do an MBA, and that picture is from my college. After MBA, I worked in corporate for 10 years, an IT life, managing projects and earning well as well. And that's when this picture becomes relevant, the background, not me at the front, Arjuna aiming at like his aim or his target. And that's where I felt the need to move towards what I really wanted to do, which was teaching. And that's when, after 10 years of my corporate life in IT, I moved on to Teach for India. That's when reality hit me on what is the state in the schools that we work with as part of Teach for India. And one word that stuck with me is choice. All through my life, I had the choice to decide whatever I wanted to do, take the track that I wanted to choose, and I always had the opportunities to do and follow that. And when we worked with the schools in Teach for India, what I saw lacking was the kids didn't have that choice. And yes, there was a lot of focus on academics, and Teach for India is helping deliver that excellent education. But still, a lot of opportunities for them to explore themselves beyond that was lacking. And that's where TAP comes in, wherein we work with low-income schools, providing them opportunities to learn things beyond academics. And can you go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah. Looking at extracurricular, co-curricular interest club space, where the key focus for us is for the kids to have a choice on what they want to learn. Come on. Now, going back to the problem that we work with and what we have observed in low-income schools, children that are coming out from low-income schools lack the skills, the opportunity and exposure to be successful in the current world. And some of the stats that show that 47% of Indian graduates are not employable purely because of lack of life skills that are needed in the current world. Move on. Yeah, and that's our vision. We want to work with all children to be able to realize who they are, what their strengths are, and be able to become whatever they want to become. And that's through providing that opportunities and exposure in low-income schools for them to be able to get the life skills which are needed in the current world. And that's the solution that TAP offers, starting with choice-based learning, where the children choose what they want to learn. And through that, they get the life skills which are essential for the current world, and also giving opportunities for real-world exposure, which sums up what TAP does. Move on. And this is just one example of a story of change that we saw. This is a story of a kid called Narendra, who is in one of the schools that we work with. And he comes from a migrant background, moved on from Telangana to Pune, and is studying in one of the schools here. He wants to be a computer engineer, and in a general situation, that's something that looks beyond reach for a lot of kids. He was part of the coding club in TAP, and I probably would not be able to play the video right now, but he created a game because he was very passionate about global warming, and he created a game in which he could simplify the awareness about global warming to other people. So it's a game where people play and get to learn what global warming can cause to the world. Wow. That's where TFIX journey started. So my 2 year of Teach for India experience had taught me a lot about fellowship, what kind of commitment and engagement and passion and power that fellowship can build, and that's where the TFIX journey was very special for me. The family that got built around us, the belief that yes, we can get people to be committed and passionate about the work that we are doing and stay on for a longer time to work with us. We as staff work with volunteers, so they commit their time to us, but we wanted to move towards where we have a longer engagement with people who work on a longer journey with us. I just want to focus on a couple of key learnings that I've had in this journey. And one is about interdependence. A lot of people already spoke about how we have come together as group and supporting each other without even being asked. And that's something that has stood out for me in this journey, and specifically in the coaching conversation that we have, asking difficult questions which makes us feel uncomfortable, and then through that learning. For me, a couple of key things that has changed in me. One, like despite my MBA, I've always struggled to plan, and that's something that over the course of the year, I feel I have built upon that, being able to think about the longer term goals that we have and be able to plan for it. And even on more personal front, I started off as a very hesitant person to be able to share things, and that I feel is something that I'm moving away from. Move on. The last one, and we spoke about Vardishnu here, and this moment for me was very special. The time that I spent in Vardishnu, seeing the great work that Vardishnu is doing there with children who came from Rakpika background, and those were few of the kids that I had met in that brief span of 1 hour, and the kind of attachment that got built in that time speaks volumes about the work that Advait and his team is doing. So that's the great journey for me. Last one. And where we go from here, so right now TAP for this year worked with 16 different schools in Pune. Yeah, we are one of the organizations which is working in a prime city, unlike a lot of others who are working in remote places. And for next year, we look forward to go into Pune and Mumbai, work with 20 different schools there, impacting 2,500 children. And that's the aim that we work towards. And with the help of TFIX and a fellowship model, we hope we'll be successful there.